As you gathered your group before and after practice, what was your message here at the end of this trip for those guys?
Basically, facing adversity, right? And how we deal with adversity is a real good indicator of who you are as a person, who we are as a team. And adversity is a great teacher. And at this time of the year, since the trading period, right, we have a different team, more injuries too, so we have a different lineup. We faced real good teams in Colorado and Vegas. They're gearing up for the playoffs. Having said that, we control what we can control, and facing adversity is teaching us and teaching ourselves as people, as hockey people and human beings, how do you deal with that? And do you fold or you keep pushing, right? And we want a team that is built with players and people that will keep pushing. Yeah, it's hard. It's frustrating. We're pissed off. But today, what are we going to do with this? And that was the message, part of it, without going into the details. But it's facing adversity as a good teacher, and we want to see who's going to respond the right way.
It all fits into that evaluation process, which you've talked about for the last couple of weeks here, really,
Yeah.
right?
So the evaluation process is not only what you can do on the ice, what your role is or may be, but also what's your character. What's your character as a teammate, as a player facing the adversity we're facing, and how you're going to react. We want to see guys that will push through, because we all face adversity, right? We all do at some point, whether it's you're a hockey guy or not, a hockey person or not. The people that win in life are the ones that are facing adversity the proper way and face it like a challenge, and look at that adversity and find a way to get through this. But by folding, that's how you create losers. And that's not the plan of this year, is to create winning habits. So this is a great opportunity for us to see who has those habits and how we can help them to create those habits.
And it's a universal message, whether it's a veteran or a guy who's playing his third NHL game, right? It fits for everybody.
Everybody. It fits for everyone, whether you're 80 years old or 10 years old. We all face different kinds of adversity. If you're a leader on the team, then you have to show why you're a leader. If you're not, then we're building leaders, and how can you put yourself in a position to be the next generation of leaders? So it fits everyone, and it's just not about leadership too. It's about being a team, and it's easy to be a good person and a good teammate, and you know, smiley and having fun when things are going well, and when things are not, that's when you see the true nature of your team and the personalities. We want to see a team that sticks together and making sure that they push together, getting through this.
Let's go. In the preseason, I was talking to you upstairs, and I want to give you a date. It was March 14th, 1984. Mario Lemieux needed to score 4 goals to break Guy Lafleur's record, and he scored 6 and 11 points, and you told me you were there.
Yep, I was. It was, building was full. That was in Laval. My dad somehow found a way to get 2 tickets to get in the building, and we were sitting in the stairs because the stairs were packed. And I remember that day like if it was yesterday. It was electric, amazing. We didn't have a chance to go see many hockey games back then, but for some reason my dad found a way to get us 2 tickets, and I still remember what a day.
Did you grow up in Laval?
Yeah.
So that was a real big deal for the neighborhood, not just the Q and the hockey world.
Yeah, no, Mario was a big deal for the Laval. He was just an amazing hockey. And you know what? One of his coach was a good friend of mine. He still is, actually. His name is Marcel Patnaud, and he was part of the coaching staff. And I remember him, a good friend of mine. I was very young. We became friends later in life. But I remember him telling me that Mario wanted to fight all the time, and they had to tell him, "Hey, no, you're here to score some goals, you know." And no, it was Mario was a big deal in Laval for the league, and he's became, you know, the Mario we know in the NHL. But back then, it was just amazing.
So I could figure it out, but how old were you in '84?
Oh, you can figure it out. Not that easy. Come on.
And you were playing hockey, I assume.
Yeah.
So that was a big deal to see him in person.
Yeah. I was in my yeah. It
Have you
was
gotten a
big
chance
deal.
to meet Mario since?
I've met Mario once, but didn't meet him. I never spoke to the man. I wish I will someday. But no, I saw him at some event in Montreal a few years ago, but I didn't get a chance or the privilege to meet the man.
Nylander's not ready yet.
No.
Good encouraging step to see him out on the ice, though.
Yeah. Hopefully next game. Yeah.
And lineup for tonight, any changes? Who's in net?
Tarasov is in that tonight, yeah.
And Dmitry Voronkov, too, getting an opportunity. Looks
Yeah,
like on
well,
the top line
yeah.
there. And what led to that? What have you seen from his game recently?
Well, a few things. He played well the last game on the wing. I thought he was moving well. Maybe less responsibilities than being in the middle. It was wall play was good. He drove the net. He was good on the forecheck. Part of it is I feel Johnny and Boone might need some help winning pucks back and knowing that there's going to be the big man at the net in the offensive zone. He's also reliable defensively, and truthfully, Texier was playing really well with those two. But we also know that Texier, Sillinger, and Marchenko was a good line for us in the past. So by trying Voronkov on that line and see what it's going to look like, we know we have a line with Sillinger that we know can work or it has been working in the past. And Pittsburgh, smart player, a really smart player, very impressed with the young man. So putting him in the line that we think fits his role with Gauntz and Olivier. And then we have the kids line, if you want to call it that way, or the guys that have been called up from the American League. And they've done well. They played well in Arizona. So we'll see how it's going to go. That's how we're going to start the game.
What have you seen from Nylander in about the month that he's been with you that you think has allowed him to have so much success since he joined your team?
Well, I think sometimes, it's nobody's fault, but sometimes just a change of scenery. And I've seen it, I'm sure you've seen it before, just a change of scenery. It didn't work, and at some point there's something happening. And for him, he's moving the puck, moving his feet, moving the puck, he's shooting the puck. I think he's a fairly smart player. And I guess that's not generous enough. I think he's a smart player that can shoot, pass the puck. He's got some poise. I believe what's been missing in the past is, I'm sure everyone has seen that, it's the consistency in this. But so far he's been consistent for us. So like I told him, a blank page with us. We're going to give you a real opportunity. This is what we expect, A, B, and C. If you do it, you'll be fine. And he took the ball and ran with it. So it's, but it happens all the time. It doesn't work with a team or two teams, and then something happens, and then it finally works. And the guys that can't establish themselves in the NHL are the guys that get one chance, two chance, three chance, and then you're out. So I think Nylander is at that point where he realizes. Because he's a good player, he's a good kid too. He realizes, okay, this is my chance, and I need to take advantage of it.
End of a long road trip here. Coming back from the West Coast, there's a lot of excuses you could use. How do you just park those and play your game and try to end this thing on a good note?
Yeah, I think what you said is right. We got to park it, and we got to finish on a strong note here. We're a little bit of a slump, so we got to find a way to get out of it before we go home. Starts tonight here, and like you said, we can't use any of these excuses to come up with any sort of idea why we shouldn't be ready for tonight. This is a big game for us. Everyone has something to play for. Our team has something to play for, so we got to be ready.
If anything else, you would think, as disappointing as the trip has been so far, you'd want to try to find a way to end it positively. That's got to be the motivation today, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, anytime you're in this kind of slump, it's one thing if you're playing good hockey, but I don't think we're satisfied with the way we've been playing lately. So, for us, it's kind of a little bit of a redemption night before heading home and being back in front of our fans. There's also something to this building that we want to make sure that doesn't happen again. So, I think everyone's going to be ready.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that piece of it. That's got to be in the back of your mind today too, right?
A little bit. I mean, you use it as motivation. I don't think it's anything bad or just a fact. It's just the way it goes, and I'm sure, there's other teams in the league that have some similar thing in other buildings. I've been around it since I was juniors. There's always something weird like that. For some reason, it happens that way. But like I said, we got plenty of reason to be ready tonight.
You were one of the more positive guys that I know in this room. How do you maintain that now through this last game of this road trip and try and finish it on a strong note?
We got to finish strong. Obviously, we're facing adversity right now, and it's good to see if we have a tight group and keep pushing each other. I think we will be doing that, and it's a good challenge for us before we going home.
Tex, you were always able to find the optimistic side of things. I mean, you always enjoy playing. You talk about what a thrill it is for you to play. How much does that carry you through a rough stretch like this?
Yeah, obviously, I think that's the only thing you can control is the way you play on the ice and being positive and bring some energy and some smile in the locker room during tough time or good time. Obviously, it's easier when everything go well, but right now, it's got to stay positive, got to move on, got to learn, and got to be better, especially in the second period too. Learn from our mistakes, and it's a big one tonight, and I think we're going to be ready.
Every opportunity is a chance to show what you can do, and evaluation is a huge part of it right now. Does that figure into it for you as well?
Yeah, obviously, you always want to get better, and I think it's a good opportunity for myself, for the young guys, for the older guys, for next year too, and you want to be part of this team, so you just gotta show what you can do on the ice and try to help the team to win the game.